You want change, but you hesitate. You want more, but you do less. Every day you watch the calendar turn, the clock tick, your dreams drifting further away. Why? Because you have not made daily progress your religion. Let me be clear. The man who refuses to move, who allows his days to pass without intention, is the architect of his own downfall. Success is never the result of a single heroic act. It is the compound interest of daily effort. It is earned in the crucible of repetition, in the battlefield of your routine. If you will not force yourself into progress, the world will force stagnation upon you. And stagnation, make no mistake, is death to the man who has ambition burning in his veins. Listen closely. Greatness is not a talent you are born with. It is a discipline you must cultivate. The men who build empires, the women who inspire nations, the thinkers who shift the world, all learned at some moment to override their moods, their fears, and their laziness. They did not wait for inspiration. They commanded themselves forward, especially on the days they least wanted to move. They understood the most brutal but liberating truth of life. Nobody is coming to save you from your own inaction. The responsibility is yours now and always. If you believe that a better life will come by chance, you have already surrendered your power. Fortune favors the disciplined. You cannot wait for the perfect opportunity, for luck, for someone else to open the door. You must be the force that knocks the door down. Your habits, not your hopes, will decide your fate. And habits are built not by big grand gestures, but by the small, unglamorous acts repeated daily. If you are unwilling to force yourself forward, you will never escape the prison of your present circumstances. Look at your life. Every result you enjoy or suffer is the echo of your past choices. Your income, your health, your relationships, your state of mind, they are all mirrors reflecting your daily standards. If you want to know your future, look at your routines today. Are you moving forward or standing still? Are you doing the work or making excuses? Are you building momentum or letting inertia keep you in chains? Most people do just enough to get by and wonder why life gives them so little. Do not be most people. Decide now. Every day you will make progress, no matter how small, no matter how you feel. You must stop negotiating with your feelings. Discipline is not about what you feel like doing. It is about what must be done. The men who achieve are not always the men with the most talent, the best ideas, or the grandest visions. They are the ones who persist, who show up, who outlast. They have learned that emotion is a poor master and that the mind must command the body, not the other way around. Every day you delay, you are telling your subconscious mind that your dreams do not matter. And so, day by day, your belief erodes, your ambition weakens, your future shrinks. You must decide to break the chain. You must become the kind of person who acts, who moves, who builds. This is the root of confidence, not some magical feeling that descends upon you, but the trust that comes from keeping your word to yourself, from doing what you say, from showing yourself day after day that you are the kind of man or woman who moves forward. When you force yourself to progress, even when it is difficult, you write a new story about who you are. You become unstoppable. Do not wait for motivation. It is a liar. Motivation comes and goes, blown about by the winds of your moods, the weather, what you ate for breakfast, or what somebody said to you. But progress is built by discipline, by doing the thing even when you do not want to, especially when you do not want to. Every time you do, you strengthen your will. And every time you yield to comfort, you weaken it. The man who wins in life is not the man who is always inspired, but the man who is always in motion. Ask yourself today, what is the single smallest action you can take right now to move your life forward? Do it. Then do it again tomorrow. Build the chain. Protect the chain. Never let a day pass without progress. This is how momentum is built. Slow at first, then faster, then unstoppable. Momentum is the secret engine of achievement, and it is forged in the daily, sometimes invisible effort. When you force yourself to move, you create the energy you need. Motion breeds motivation, not the other way around. Do not underestimate the power of a single, consistent step. The world is filled with men who start and stop, who leap and fall, who promise much but finish little. Consistency is rare, and it is the most valuable currency you can possess. One step a day, every day, over time, will outpace the giant leaps of the undisciplined. You become what you repeatedly do. If you force yourself into daily progress, you are laying bricks for a future no one can steal from you. Remember, no one will hand you your dream. Life only hands you opportunities to prove your worthiness. Every morning is a test. Will you act or will you shrink? Will you honor your commitments or betray yourself with excuses? Every evening is an audit. What did you build today? Who did you become? The man or woman who chooses daily progress, who forces themselves into action, is writing their destiny one day at a time. The truth is, you will not always see the reward immediately. There will be days where the work seems thankless, the results invisible, the progress slow. But do not be deceived. Every act of discipline is a seed in the soil. Some seeds take longer to sprout, but the harvest always comes to the one who tends the field without fail. Those who quit too soon never taste the sweetness of the fruit. Be patient. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Now, you may ask, what if I fail? What if I slip? You will. You are human. But that is not the end unless you decide to make it so. The man who never falls is the man who never moves. What matters is that you do not let one missed day become two. That you do not let a setback become a stopping point. Pick yourself up. Recommit. Start again. Each time you do, your resolve is forged stronger, your will made more unbreakable. The world does not reward the man who almost acted, who almost built, who almost lived. It rewards those who force themselves forward, who progress in the face of fatigue, doubt, and distraction. You do not need more time. You need more commitment. You do not need more luck. You need more discipline. Do not waste another day waiting for the right conditions. They do not exist. The right time is now. In the end, your future is nothing but the accumulation of the days you chose to make progress. If you want to rise, to achieve, to live a life of meaning, there is no other way. Force yourself into daily progress, no matter how you feel, no matter what stands in your way. Make it your creed, your code, your way of being, because your future, every hope, every goal, every dream depends on what you do today and tomorrow and the next day. There is no shortcut, no secret, no easy path. There is only the discipline of progress, and the man or woman who embraces it becomes unstoppable. You have now set your foot on the path, but be warned, this is not a journey for the half-hearted. The world is filled with men and women who burn bright for a moment and then fizzle out at the first gust of adversity. If you wish to become more than just a flash in the pan, you must become the kind of person who moves forward in darkness, in discomfort, and in doubt. Do not make the mistake of believing that your progress will always be accompanied by applause. Often, you will work in silence, toiling in obscurity, planting seeds that the world ignores, until the day your harvest is too abundant to be hidden. Daily progress is not about the grand gesture. It is about the quiet, relentless commitment to becoming a little more than you were yesterday. You must cultivate the habit of self-command. What does that mean? It means you do not negotiate with your lesser self, the voice that wants to stay comfortable, to avoid risk, to indulge in the small pleasures that sap your strength. The successful man makes his decision once, then enforces it 1,000 times. The unsuccessful man makes a new decision every day, then wonders why his life never moves forward. Self-command is your shield against the chaos of the world. When you say you will do something, do it, whether you feel like it or not. You will soon discover that your confidence does not come from the praise of others, but from your own unwavering integrity. You will look in the mirror and see a person you respect, and that respect will fuel you to even greater heights. Let's be honest about what daily progress requires. You must be willing to sacrifice. Sacrifice is not a dirty word. It is the price of admission for greatness. If you want to rise above the crowd, you must be willing to give up what the crowd clings to, endless distraction, fleeting comfort, the illusion of safety. The man who insists on keeping every comfort will lose his edge, his hunger, his reason for moving forward. Every day, ask yourself, what must I let go of to move ahead? Is it an old habit, a toxic relationship, a belief that no longer serves you? Success is not about adding more, but about shedding the unnecessary, the trivial, the heavy chains of your former self. You must also guard against the poison of comparison. In this age, it is easier than ever to lose yourself watching the supposed progress of others. You do not owe the world your attention. You owe yourself your own progress. Measure yourself only against who you were yesterday, not against the illusions projected by others. Every minute you spend envying another's journey is a minute stolen from your own advancement. Focus on your lane, on your mission, on your next step. The only competition that matters is between the person you are and the person you are becoming. Here is a secret that few will admit. Progress does not always feel like progress. There will be days when you feel as though you are standing still, or worse, moving backwards. You will question the value of your effort. You will wonder if you are meant for more, or if you are destined to toil in vain. These moments are not a sign that you should quit. They are a test of your patience, your faith, your willingness to persist when there is no visible reward. The universe has a way of reserving its greatest gifts for those who refuse to give up, who keep showing up long after the excitement fades. Be that person. Force yourself forward, even when you see no evidence that your work is making a difference. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Your environment matters more than you think. If you surround yourself with people who make excuses, who complain, who stagnate, you will absorb their energy whether you like it or not. Seek out those who are committed to growth, who demand more from themselves, who celebrate your progress instead of resenting it. If you cannot find such people, become that person for yourself. Set your own standards. Build your own momentum. Remember, greatness is lonely at first, but soon enough, your example will attract others who are ready to rise. You will become a beacon, a leader, a force for good. Never underestimate the compounding power of a day well spent. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week, but underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. Imagine what your life would look like if you improved by just 1% every single day. Over time, those small gains multiply, creating breakthroughs that seem miraculous to those who only watched from the sidelines. Progress is not linear. It accelerates as you build momentum, as your discipline strengthens, as your vision sharpens. Your greatest leap forward often comes just after you almost gave up. Let us address the fear that paralyzes so many, the fear of imperfection. If you wait to act until you are certain, until you are prepared, until every detail is perfect, you will wait forever. Progress is messy. Growth is uncomfortable. The master was once a beginner who was willing to look foolish, to make mistakes, to stumble, to try again. Do not let pride stop you from starting small. Take imperfect action. Celebrate imperfect progress. The man who moves imperfectly will always outpace the man who waits for perfect conditions. Now, let's talk about energy. You cannot force yourself into daily progress if you are constantly drained, scattered, exhausted. Discipline is not about grinding yourself to dust. It is about aligning your effort with your values. Rest is a weapon, not a weakness. Recharge your body. Feed your mind with powerful thoughts. Give your spirit room to breathe. The more you invest in your energy, the more you can give to your mission. But do not mistake rest for laziness. Rest is purposeful. Laziness is simply refusal to act. Know the difference. Use one, destroy the other. Most of all, do not wait for permission. The world is full of gatekeepers, critics, naysayers. Their job is to tell you what can't be done. Your job is to prove them wrong, not through argument, but through action, through evidence, through the quiet certainty of a life in motion. The man who moves cannot be ignored forever. Sooner or later, the world will have to reckon with the results you produce, with the value you create, with the person you have become. You owe it to yourself to become undeniable. In the end, it always comes back to this. Will you act or will you watch? Will you build or will you wish? Will you become more or will you settle for less? Daily progress is not just a habit. It is a declaration, a promise to yourself that you will not die with your music still inside you. You will force yourself forward, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Because your life, the only life you will ever have, deserves to be lived fully, fiercely, without apology. Start now, today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. The path to your future is laid brick by brick, step by step, moment by moment. Progress is yours for the taking if you will only reach out and claim it. Force yourself to move, and the world will move with you. That is the law. That is the way. That is the secret that separates those who dream from those who achieve. You cannot afford to move through life as if you are a bystander to your own story. You must realize right now that every sunrise brings with it a new demand. Will you choose the comfort of stillness or the pain of movement? One leads to decay, the other to your destiny. Progress is not granted by wish or by whim, but by the iron discipline of doing what must be done every day, no matter the mood, the weather, or the opinion of the world. There is a moment each morning when you stand at the crossroads. Most will roll over and hit the snooze button, snoozing not just on their alarm, but on their entire potential. You must be different. You must get up, stand up, and push forward before your mind has time to invent excuses. Understand this. The world rewards those who show up when they least feel like it. You are not forging a habit, but a character, a reputation with yourself. If you only act when it's easy, your life will be a monument to mediocrity. But if you act when it's hard, when it's lonely, when there is no glory in sight, you are building an internal power that no setback can shake. The truth is, champions are not made on game day, but in the dark hours, when no one is watching, when the battle is fought between your ears. Your victory is first won inside, by refusing to negotiate with the inner voice that peddles excuses and delay. Let me warn you about the seduction of comfort. The world is set up to keep you soft, compliant, and distracted. Comfort is the silent killer of ambition. The man who lives only for ease is already writing his own eulogy. Every time you choose the harder road, when you step into the cold, embrace the difficult conversation, commit to the extra repetition, push through the last round, you make yourself stronger, clearer, more dangerous to the forces that keep most men average. Your muscle, mental, physical, spiritual, grows only under pressure. Stop searching for hacks, tricks, or shortcuts. The only secret is that most are too lazy to pay the price, and that is why the few become legends. There is no progress without discomfort, and there is no mastery without repetition. You must train your mind to embrace boredom, to welcome the dull ache of doing the right thing over and over. The masses seek stimulation. You must seek improvement. The masses consume. You must create. The masses are ruled by impulse. You must be ruled by intention. Every day you choose discipline over desire, you add another brick to the fortress of your future. One day, that fortress will stand so tall that nothing, not criticism, not failure, not even your old self, can penetrate it. Do not mistake movement for achievement. There are millions who are busy all day and yet get nowhere. Progress is not about frantic activity, but about focused, consistent action. Start each day with intention. What is the one thing above all that moves you closer to your true purpose? Do that first, and do it well. If you fill your day with trivia, you will build a trivial life. Your legacy is built in the hours no one applauds, on the tasks no one sees. Make your progress private. Let your results announce themselves. There will be days when you question your path. Doubt is a sign that you are doing something that matters. If your dreams do not scare you, they are too small. Most people let fear dictate their speed. But fear, when faced, is fuel for the soul. Use it. Let it drive you, not away from the fire, but straight into it. Growth is always on the other side of resistance. When you run from discomfort, you run from your own greatness. When you confront it, you discover just how strong, how persistent, how relentless you can become. Learn to love the process more than the prize. The destination will change, but the discipline you build stays with you forever. Celebrate each small victory, not with arrogance, but with gratitude, for every step forward is a step away from your old limits. Never let a day pass without progress, no matter how small. In the end, the difference between those who make it and those who don't is not talent, not luck, not intelligence, but the unbreakable will to improve, day after day, against all odds. Remember this: every act of daily progress is an act of self-respect. When you fulfill the promises you make to yourself, your self-esteem grows. You do not need applause, only proof. Every evening, reflect on what you accomplished. Did you give your best? Did you keep your word to yourself? Did you move forward, even a fraction? If yes, rest well. If not, recommit. The days add up. The weeks compound. The months transform you. It is not dramatic leaps that make you great, but the invisible inches you gain relentlessly year after year. Those who master daily progress do not ask if they feel motivated. They ask if they are aligned with their vision. Motivation is fickle. Commitment is forever. Tie your actions to your deepest reason. When you act for something greater than comfort, when your progress serves your family, your mission, your legacy, no setback can break you. The world will try to distract you, discourage you, delay you. Your job is to press forward anyway. Refuse to let the moods of the world dictate your progress. The economy may wobble, friends may fail you, Your health may ebb and flow. But your discipline can remain unshakable if you make it your highest value. In chaos, be the calm. In confusion, be the clarity. In defeat, be the man who gets up again and again until victory is the only outcome left. There is a dignity in persistence, a quiet power in routine, a nobility in staying the course when all others have abandoned ship. Never surrender your vision to the noise of the day. Guard it with your time, your habits, your life. Each morning, renew your vow. Today I will move forward, no matter what. Today I will become more, no matter the cost. Today I will force myself to progress because my future demands it. Your future self is waiting for you, not at the finish line, but in every moment you choose to do what matters. He is built not in bursts of effort, but in the steady chisel of daily discipline. The world will not reward you for what you intend, only for what you complete. If you are tired, rest, but do not quit. If you fail, learn, but do not retreat. If you are lost, simplify. Focus on the next step, the next task, the next moment of integrity. Progress is the ultimate rebellion against a world that profits from your inaction. Make your rebellion daily, silent, and unstoppable. Do not look for shortcuts. Look for the path that forces you to grow. Every day you force yourself into progress, you push back against entropy, against the slow death of comfort, against the gravitational pull of your old life. In the end, you will not regret the struggle. You will regret only the days you let slip by, unused, unlived, unclaimed. So start now. Stay in motion. Push yourself, even when no one is watching, even when every part of you wants to stop. The man who forces himself into daily progress does not just achieve more, he becomes more. And that is the only progress that can never be taken away. You must understand this. Success is a process of becoming, not simply a matter of accumulating. Every day you are building yourself, or you are allowing yourself to decay. There is no neutral ground. You are either moving forward or you are falling behind. Progress is the law of life, and the man who violates that law by neglecting his own advancement soon finds himself a stranger in his own dreams, watching others pass him by. This is why I insist, and I will repeat it until you feel it in your bones. Daily progress is not optional. It is essential. The habit of progress is the very foundation upon which every fortune is built, every leader is forged, every legacy is written. What keeps a man from moving forward? It is not a lack of time. Every man has the same number of hours in a day. It is not a lack of talent. The world is full of talented failures. It is not the circumstances of his birth. History is rich with men and women who rose from nothing to command empires. The root of stagnation is always internal. It is in the beliefs you hold about yourself, the limits you accept, the distractions you permit, and the comfort you worship. If you have failed to make progress, look not to the world, but to your own decisions. Have you set a clear goal? Have you demanded daily action from yourself? Have you held yourself accountable? Until you can answer yes to all three, you have not begun to honor your own potential. The discipline to push yourself begins the moment you refuse to negotiate with your feelings. Feelings are fleeting. They come and go like the weather. One day you feel inspired, the next you feel nothing at all. But greatness is achieved by those who act regardless of feeling, who show up when inspiration is absent, who execute their plan even when every cell in their body screams for ease. You must become a man who does what he says he will do, especially when it is hard. In that crucible, your character is tempered. Every difficult day is a deposit into the bank of your self-respect. The more deposits you make, the richer you become in confidence, in resilience, in capacity. Let's be brutally honest. Most people avoid progress because it requires effort without immediate reward. They want the applause without the practice, the finish line without the mile. But life does not work that way. The world does not give you what you want. It gives you what you insist on, what you work for, what you refuse to quit pursuing. So you must outlast the seasons of obscurity. You must be willing to labor in silence, to build quietly, to improve incrementally, even when no one notices. Trust that the day will come when your results will speak so loudly that the world cannot ignore you. Understand the difference between movement and progress. You may be busy from dawn until dusk and yet accomplish nothing of consequence. Activity is not achievement. Focus on result. Every morning, ask yourself, what one action, if done today, would move me unmistakably closer to my vision? Make it your mission to complete that action before you allow yourself to be swept away by the trivial. Guard your mornings with your life, for they set the tone for your entire day. The man who wins the morning commands the hours that follow. Your environment matters. If you surround yourself with mediocrity, you will soon settle for less than you are capable of. If you seek out excellence, if you fill your mind with the words and works of the great, if you align yourself with those who are ahead of you, your own standards will rise by necessity. Success leaves clues, and proximity is power. Change your environment and you change your fate. Never be the smartest person in the room. Seek out challenges. Welcome discomfort as a sign that you are growing. Consistency is the ultimate multiplier. One act of discipline, repeated daily, is more powerful than bursts of effort followed by collapse. Your brain is rewired by what you do repeatedly. Small daily wins compound into extraordinary achievements. The man who persists, who shows up when others quit, who maintains his rituals even when life grows chaotic, will always outperform the one who works in fits and starts. Build your routines as if your life depends on them, because it does. Decide once and execute daily. Let your discipline become automatic, your progress inevitable. There is wisdom in reflection. Take time each evening to review your actions. Did you move forward today? Did you live up to your word? Did you conquer yourself, even in small ways? This practice is not about self-criticism, but about self-mastery. The man who reviews his day with honesty is always improving. He does not allow error to become habit, nor victory to breed complacency. He grows more aware, more intentional, more formidable with every passing day. Do not confuse the slow progress of mastery with failure. True growth is often invisible in the moment, like the roots of a tree reaching deep before the branches break the surface. Trust the process. Keep planting the seeds. Keep watering your vision. The harvest will come to those who persist, who refuse to let temporary setbacks define them, who understand that delay is not denial. If you have not yet reached your goal, it simply means you must keep going. Persistence is the only guarantee of eventual victory. When you stumble, and you will, if you are truly pursuing greatness, respond with courage, not self-pity. Every setback contains the seed of a lesson. Examine your failure, extract the wisdom, and return to the path with new determination. Let adversity refine you, not define you. Most men are broken by hardship. The rare ones are broken open, revealing reserves of strength they never knew they had. Make up your mind. Nothing will break you. You will bend, you will adapt, but you will not stop. Be careful who you allow into your mind. The voices you entertain become the soundtrack of your life. If you listen to critics, to cynics, to those who have settled, you will soon find your energy drained, your ambition muted, your standards lowered. Protect your mind like a fortress. Feed it only with thoughts that empower, challenge, and inspire you. If you must stand alone, do so gladly. Better alone in the pursuit of greatness than surrounded by the company of comfort and compromise. Measure your progress not by the standards of the crowd, but by the standards you set for yourself. Comparison is a thief. It will rob you of joy, of clarity, of your unique purpose. You are not in competition with anyone but the man you were yesterday. Celebrate every advance, no matter how small. Each step forward is a victory over inertia, over resistance, over the lesser self that would keep you chained to your old life. Finally, never forget why you started. Purpose is the fuel that sustains discipline. When you are tired, when the world tells you to quit, when the rewards seem distant, reconnect with your deepest reason. Success is not an accident. It is a consequence of alignment, of thought, of action, of intention. Every day, ask yourself, does this step honor my vision? Does this action build the future I want? When your why is clear, the how becomes a matter of course. In this journey of progress, you will be tempted to settle. You will hear the seductive call of good enough. Resist it with everything in you. The man who settles forfeits his right to greatness. Push yourself further, harder, longer than you think possible. Every limit is an illusion until you challenge it. The only real failure is the decision to stop moving forward. Your life is the sum of your progress. There are no shortcuts, no hacks, no secrets. Only the discipline of daily advancement. Become relentless. Become unbreakable. Make your progress your signature, your standard, your gift to the world. When you do, success will have no choice but to find you, follow you, and finally to serve you. That is the law. That is the promise. That is the destiny of the man who never stops moving forward. The mark of a man destined for greatness is not found in the grandeur of his ambitions, but in the stubbornness of his daily discipline. Too many individuals are enslaved by the notion that a single grand gesture, a leap of faith, a lucky break, an overnight transformation will change their fortunes. This is a seductive lie spread by those who fear the responsibility of daily progress. The truth is far less glamorous, but infinitely more powerful. Your destiny is written in the minutes, not in the moments. It is crafted not by what you do once, but by what you do again and again and again. The world does not yield its rewards to those who simply wish, hope, or even plan. It bends to those who are relentless in their pursuit, who convert every intention into action, who understand that consistency is the only alchemy that transforms dreams into reality. Each day is a blank check. Your habits are the pen. What you write with your actions today becomes the balance of your future. This is why I say to you as directly as I can, force yourself to progress, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what others say, regardless of how distant the finish line may seem. Look at your life with unflinching honesty. If you are not advancing, it is because you have tolerated your own stagnation. Somewhere, you have made peace with less than your best. Perhaps you have allowed old habits to persist or let excuses masquerade as reasons. Perhaps you have settled into a routine that is safe but sterile, comfortable but devoid of meaning. You must rebel against this inertia. You must be your own harshest critic and your own greatest ally, simultaneously demanding more from yourself and believing that you are capable of it. This rebellion begins in the mind. The undisciplined mind is a wandering servant, blown here and there by every wind of distraction, every change in mood, every passing worry. The disciplined mind is a master, issuing clear commands and expecting obedience. Train your mind as a general trains his army, ruthlessly, patiently, and with unbreakable resolve. Decide what matters. Make it non-negotiable. Refuse to tolerate anything less than your full engagement. This is not cruelty, is the greatest kindness you can show yourself. For a mind trained in discipline becomes a mind unshakable, and the world cannot help but respond to such strength. Guard your time as you would a precious inheritance. The world is full of thieves, not just those who take your money, but those who rob you of minutes and hours with trivial requests, meaningless distractions, empty conversations. The most dangerous thief is your own procrastination, the voice that tells you there is time enough tomorrow. There is not. The future is shaped only by those who seize the present. Decide, act, review, repeat. This is the loop of mastery. Do not wait for permission, for conditions to be perfect, for motivation to strike. Act, and let action create its own momentum. There is a temptation to believe that more is better, that progress means doing everything at once. This is another trap. The master does not scatter his forces, he concentrates them. He chooses one thing and pours himself into it, burning away distraction with the laser of focus. The man who tries to move 1,000 things an inch moves nothing at all. The man who moves one thing 1,000 inches changes his world. Choose your target. Make it singular. Let your days be measured not by how much you attempted, but by how much you accomplished. In this pursuit you will encounter resistance, internal and external. You will face days when doubt gnaws at your confidence, when setbacks bruise your spirit, when progress seems invisible. Remember, these are the crucibles in which resilience is forged. The men who prevail are not those who avoid difficulty, but those who rise each time they are knocked down. Discipline yourself to see setbacks as stepping stones, to extract from every failure the lesson that propels you forward. There is no shame in falling, only in refusing to rise again. It is critical to review your progress, not as a judge handing down sentences, but as a craftsman inspecting his work. At the close of each day, ask yourself, did I move forward? Did I honor my commitments? Did I waste time on what does not serve my mission? Be ruthless in your self-assessment, but also generous in your self-encouragement. Celebrate every small victory. Let each serve as evidence that you are becoming the man you intend to be. The world does not applaud the small wins, but your soul knows their worth. Collect them, cherish them, and let them build your confidence brick by brick. As your discipline compounds, something extraordinary occurs. You begin to trust yourself. Self-trust is the currency of all achievement. When you know, beyond any doubt, that you will do what you say you will do, your ambitions expand, your courage grows, and your possibilities multiply. The opinions of others recede, replaced by the steady voice of your own integrity. This is a quiet power, but it is the most potent force in the universe. No one can give it to you. You must earn it, hour by hour, choice by choice. Do not make the mistake of waiting for motivation. Motivation is a fleeting spark, but discipline is the fire that burns long after inspiration fades. Structure your environment to support your progress. Remove temptations. Organize your space. Surround yourself with reminders of your goals. Let the first moments of your day be dedicated to your highest priority before the world has a chance to pull you away. Ritualize your progress until it becomes as automatic as breathing. Remember, there is always another level. No matter how far you have come, the journey continues. Complacency is the enemy of greatness. The universe expands, and so must you. Every time you achieve a goal, set a new one. Every time you master a skill, seek a new challenge. Growth is not a destination, but a way of life. Make it your identity to be a man who never stops advancing. You owe it to yourself and to those who will be touched by your life to become all that you are capable of becoming. The world is waiting not for another dreamer, but for a doer. Not for more ideas, but for more action. The greatest regret is not failure, but the knowledge that you could have been more, done more, given more, if only you had forced yourself to move forward when it mattered most. So today, recommit to your progress. Make a promise and keep it. Let the momentum of discipline carry you through the valleys and the peaks. In the end, it is not the size of your ambition that determines your success, but the size of your daily effort. The man who insists on moving forward, who demands progress from himself, who refuses to let a single day pass without growth, this is the man who carves his name into the stone of history. Force yourself into daily progress and watch as the world rearranges itself to accommodate your relentless advance. You will become unstoppable not because you were born with more, but because you demanded more from yourself day after day without fail. This is the way of all greatness. This is the way you secure your future. This is the way you become a force that cannot be denied. The final test of your discipline and your determination comes not in the obvious moments of challenge, but in the quiet, unseen hours when no one is watching and when nothing forces you to act but your own inner command. It is here that the truth about your future is written. Here in the stillness, in the repetition, in the refusal to betray your own progress with even a single day of indifference. You must understand and accept that there will always be an easier path than the one you have chosen. There will always be the lure of comfort, the call of distraction, the justification of delay. The ordinary man listens. The extraordinary man answers only to his vision. You must forge within yourself an unbreakable contract. The contract is simple. Daily advancement. No matter the weather, no matter the mood, no matter the temptation to retreat. It is in the honoring of this contract that a new identity is formed, not a person who tries, but a person who persists. The world is filled with those who once tried. It is shaped by those who persist. The question before you now is not whether you will act, but whether you will continue when action is hardest. Will you press on when your efforts seem invisible, when fatigue bites, when the finish line moves further away with each step you take? Your answer to this question is the axis upon which your destiny will turn. It is a simple thing to congratulate yourself when you see visible gain. Anyone can do this, but I am asking you, and life is asking you, to push yourself when nothing visible changes, when progress is slow, incremental, nearly invisible. Most men quit just before their efforts begin to compound. Most give up on the 5th repetition, never realizing it is the 6th, the 7th, and the 100th that transform effort into excellence. Your job is to ignore the timeline, to be loyal not to instant gratification, but to the principle that persistence in the right direction is always rewarded. It is not your job to judge the speed of your progress, but to guarantee its consistency. Each morning, rise and remind yourself that greatness is not an event, but a process. It is the result of endless days strung together, each one an opportunity to lay another brick. You must become a builder of your own life, patient and precise, unconcerned with how fast others appear to move, focused only on the wall rising before you. In this way, comparison loses its power. You are not in a race against anyone but your former self. The question is always, did you advance today even by a single inch? If the answer is yes, then you are winning. The most valuable lessons are learned in the days you do not want to continue. It is in these moments that your true beliefs are revealed. You can recite affirmations and build vision boards, but unless you prove to yourself that you will persist when it is difficult, you remain a stranger to your own potential. Discipline yourself to act when you are uninspired, to execute when motivation has left you, to follow through when all your mind wants is escape. This is the way you prove to yourself and to life that you are ready for more. You will discover that when you act from discipline and not emotion, your emotions begin to obey your discipline. The weak man waits to feel like acting. The strong man acts until he feels strong. You will not always be proud of every result, but you can always be proud of every effort. The dignity of daily progress is a secret power, invisible to others but obvious to yourself. You begin to walk taller, speak with more conviction, move with an inner certainty. You know, in a world of quitters and dabblers, you are the rarest of men, one who keeps going. Every great fortune, every significant invention, every towering achievement began as a string of ordinary days, transformed by an extraordinary commitment to daily effort. The outside world sees only the climax. You must fall in love with the climb. To force yourself forward, even when no results are visible, is the surest way to guarantee that results, when they come, will belong to you and you alone. This is not mere work ethic. It is the shaping of your character. Let no one, least of all yourself, convince you that you need permission, ideal timing, or special resources to begin and to persist. The only requirement is that you begin and then begin again and then begin again every single day. Your growth is the same, invisible, relentless, destined. The man who cannot see it is the man who has stopped before the miracle occurred. Reflect each night on what you did, not what you wished to do. Do not mourn wasted days. They are gone. Instead, let the memory of missed progress sting you into action. Set tomorrow's intentions tonight. Visualize yourself rising early, attacking the day, refusing the call of mediocrity. Let your goals be as non-negotiable as your need for air. The only acceptable outcome is advancement, no matter how small. Stack enough small wins and you build an empire. Permit yourself even a few days of drifting and you risk losing months, years, even a lifetime of what could have been. You will become a beacon for others, not by boasting, but by example. People do not listen to words as much as they observe actions. When they see a man who is relentless in his progress, who improves himself with the precision of a craftsman and the urgency of a man running out of time, they are drawn to you. They are changed by you. This is true leadership, not commands, but conduct, not declarations, but demonstration. Your silent example will speak louder than any speech you could give. Never believe the illusion that discipline is restriction. It is liberation. The man who commands himself is the only man who is truly free. He is free from the tyranny of regret, the prison of potential left unfulfilled, the bitterness of watching others achieve what he would not demand from himself. When you master yourself, the world cannot master you. When you refuse to let your standards slip, life cannot help but meet you at the level of your expectation. In the end, you will look back not with regret for the effort required, but with gratitude for the man you became along the way. It will not be the results that fill you with pride, but the daily victories over weakness, the quiet conquest of comfort, the unyielding insistence on progress. You will know beyond any doubt that you left nothing to chance, that you forced from each day every drop of potential, that you built a future with your own two hands and will. This is your command. Force yourself into daily progress, regardless of feeling, regardless of fear, regardless of the odds. Insist upon movement. Insist upon growth. Refuse to exit each day as the same man who entered it. In this you will discover the secret of all achievement, the path to all greatness, the only guarantee of a future that does not shrink from you but races to greet you. The world bows to those who insist on progress. Become that man, and you will live a life that leaves nothing behind but legacy, inspiration, and the unbreakable proof that you were here, you mattered, and you made every moment count.